Hello there viewers, welcome back to episode 2 of the 7 Deadly Seasons with Everton. Now obviously the aim for this one is to win the Premier League. We're not going Champions League just yet, we're winning the Premier League hopefully within 7 seasons. And this is season number 3 and 4 overview. So without further ado, I'm going to take you to the start of pre-season for season number 3. Let's take a look. So here we are viewers. The start of season number 3, we have Bournemouth in our first league game. We had an original budget of £72 million. We have £24 million of that left, which tells you we spent a lot of money. Now, the predicament that we had at the end of the last season was that we are in the Europa League 2, so we can't attract the best players in the world, but we do have a lot of players who wanted to leave us, unfortunately, with James Rodriguez being one of them, and Lucas Digne because of all the attraction that he had for being the player that he is. So what have we done in the transfer window to see if we can recuperate and bring in players who are better than those? Well, on the outs, viewers, we had some massive transfers out. James Rodriguez has gone to Arsenal for £50 million. So they wanted him. He wanted to leave. He's now 30 years of age, so I think that is a very good bit of business for £50 million. Lucas Digne, of course, also wanted to leave. He left to Manchester United. So they've managed to get themselves a very good left back, up to £51 million again. Bernard was a £20 million that we already knew about. £12 million for Tom Davies, who hasn't really featured. And Seamus Coleman actually wanted to leave. He has gone to Atlas Guadalajara in Mexico for £5 million. Jim Lamb, who is a player I've never heard of. I think he might even be a regen. He's gone to Brighton for up to £13 million. Really good bit of business there. A few players left out on free transfers as well, one being Fabian Delph. But we have spent some money, viewers, and these are the players that we have brought in. So, first up, we have Renan Lodi, a very good left back, and we almost managed to get Alex Telles, but we kind of bossed up the contract, and now he doesn't want to speak to us anymore. So, because we have to do all the transfers before the start of the season, I went for someone else, and we went for Renan Lodi, who isn't quite as good, but still, I think, an exceptionally good left-back from Atletico Madrid, and he's younger, so maybe he can develop into a better player in the long run. But I really like his attacking traits, great passing technique, crossing, dribbling, first touch. He's such a good attacking left-back with very good physicals, and he's not bad defending, to say the least. 14 marking, 12 tackling. I've seen better, but I've seen a lot worse, viewers. We've managed to pick him up for a very hefty fee of £52 million, but it's the same money that we had for Lucas Digne. So overall, I'm happy with that. Atletico Madrid were barely even playing him, to be honest. So, good bit of business. Now, of course, with James Rodriguez going out, we needed to sign a cam player. We do have Gylfi Sigurdsson. I just don't think he's good enough. But I'm wearing a shirt right now, viewers, of Anderlecht, and we went and raided their best player, Jari Vashkaran. A very good attacking midfielder who can also play centre mid or on the left or on the right. So really good, versatile player. Yeah, with just 20 years of age, he's got a lot of potential ahead of him. Not as good as James Rodriguez going forward because James has great finishing and great finishing attributes as well. But I think overall what this man can bring to us in the future is just what we need. Setting up Gabigol, setting up Sebastiano Esposito, who will be playing a lot more this season hopefully and getting some more goals. So I'm happy to bring in Jari Vashkaran for £28 million as well. I think it's a bit of a bargain, to be honest. He's had some good seasons there at Anderlecht. We also managed to pick up Mattias Fernandez on a loan deal. Really, viewers, this is just a backup. He can play in a number of positions, and I think at 6 foot, he can even play at centre-back if we really need him to. Good physical attributes. He's a very well-rounded player, and he can play the roles that we use really naturally. So I think he was a good bit of business bringing him in, not as a first-team player, but as a good backup. But we've made one signing, who's a bit of a gamble, and I might introduce this player into the starting lineup, the first team lineup in a couple of seasons' time, and take a chance on him because I do think for an 18-year-old, he's exceptionally good already. Weird positions, like attributes for positions, because he only has 12 passing, but he has 15 finishing. but he's a centre midfielder or a defender. So I don't really know where this guy's role, his best role is. But he's 18 years of age, and for 13 million that we had to pay for Nantes to get him, good physical attributes, mental attributes will hopefully increase. We've put him in a mentoring group to get that determination up. Does he have a balanced personality? So hopefully we can change that and make him a little bit better. I've made him for loan, so hopefully we can get a good loan deal because no one's come in for him yet. If they do, lovely. If not, he can play in the reserves or in the under-18s throughout this season before we can give him his first team chance, viewers. So, tactic-wise, we are sticking with this tactic, but we're making some changes to make sure the players that we want to play in certain positions are playing there. Tales Magno is definitely playing on the left-hand side. Esposito will be at top with Vishkaran on this shadow striker role and Gabigol on the right-hand side. He's picked up an injury at the minute, but we've got like the likes of Richarlison, Sigurdsson, even Iwobi if we really need to use him, who can all play in these positions, and Moise Kean as well, who can also play there too. So we do have a lot of players who can fill in because Gabigol is out for 3 weeks, so he missed the start of the season. That's fine, and we will look at the Premier League. The season preview of the Premier League, viewers, looks like this. We're predicted to finish in 7th place yet again. Can we better that though? I hope so. And here we are at the end of season number 3. And we have managed to better that position because we've managed to retrieve our 5th place spot again. Liverpool clinching the title, Arsenal in 2nd, Manchester City 3rd, Tottenham 4th, Everton 5th. We finished above Manchester United. We finished above Chelsea quite comfortably as well. So we've managed to do quite well this season. Now if we have a look at the competitions wise, we won the Europa Cup too. So that's not bad, viewers. The Euro Cup 2, and we won the Carabao Cup. And we were only knocked down in the semi-final of the FA Cup, so I think the fans will be very happy with this season. Carabao Cup, a European trophy, albeit it's not the best one, but still it's a European trophy to say the least, and quite a fairly good season. Now, we did do very well this season, but how has the players done themselves? Most appearances, Esposito played in 64 games. He has come on leaps and bounds, and in 64 games, viewers, he scored 41 goals and got 13 assists. An extremely good season for the young Italian who is just turning 20 years of age. He's still a teenager, and look how good he already is, viewers. Phenomenal stuff. I'm quite surprised nobody is trying to snatch him already, but he is signed on till 2027, which, viewers, is the end of this series. So if it means that we have to force him to stay here, I will do just that because he is just that good. Gabriel Barbosa, though, managed to score 22 goals and get 5 assists, so a good secondary striker, of course playing out on the wing. He's caused some damage as well. He's had a good season, 6.85 in as an average rating in the league. Overall, a 7 average rating in the league, in across all competitions. 9 goals, 2 assists. I'm happy with his performances. I just like him. I just really like him as a player. I think he is one of those players, I think, on this game who just plays really well with the match engine, as well as Esposito. Now, we also have some players who are in double figures as well from the midfield. Vishkaran in that shadow striker role. Tales Magno with 13 goals, 13 assists. He's done very well. And even Richarlison, viewers, with 38 appearances from the bench and only 9 starts, managed to pick up 12 goals. Our centre-back, though, Chris Mepam, don't know how to say his name still, 11 goals, so you've got to be happy with that. Assist-wise, though, Vishkaran had 21 assists. Esposito picked up 13 as long as Tales Magno. Mason Holgate, who played a lot of the time at right back instead of Max Aarons, which I will change in the future. And Renan Lodi from the other wing also managed to pick up 11 assists too. Average rating a 7.4 average rating for Sebastiano Esposito. In the last 5 games, even better, over an 8. So he's done exceptionally well. But if we do have a look at the schedule, viewers, we can see the performances that we have had in certain games were phenomenal. We had quite an easy group in the Europa League 2, Apoel, Bate Borisov, and Dynamo Tbilisi. So we've lucked out there, to be honest. But some massive performances here. Esposito, picking up 4 goals in a 5-3 win against Tottenham. Really good there. But even some results like this one here, like Newcastle 4-4. It's just so unlucky, although they do have Rodrigo. who used to play for Leeds, is now playing for Newcastle, so that's actually quite a good signing for them. But look how good our December actually was. As well as that 5-3 win that we had against them, we beat Manchester City 3-1, and we drew against Manchester United. So some really good performances there in a tough time in December. Only one loss in January, which was Liverpool. So that isn't bad whatsoever. And going forward towards the end of the season, we had another good run in March and April, only losing to Liverpool 5-0 and Tottenham 3-0. So we did take a couple of batterings there. But a lot of the games we played were European games. So a tight schedule meant that using these players maybe didn't come to our advantage just as much as what we had hoped. Like a 4-0 loss there to Norwich. And if you have a look at the side that we're playing there, they're probably all knackered, so that's quite unfortunate. But a good end to the season, a 6-2 win against Southampton, 3-0 against Chelsea. That's fantastic. And then the final of the Europa Cup 2, we beat my favourite German team, Eintracht Frankfurt, in stoppage time, in extra time, after they scored in the 89th minute. Gabigol picked up a 120th minute goal to win that final. So great stuff for our team there. But okay, did we make any of the signings? We will look at this. These are the signings that we are bringing in, viewers, towards the end of the season. Now, Matteo Guendouzi might be coming in. We still haven't secured that deal yet. We've offered him a contract. And Bazoa, a good backup centre midfield, I think would be quite nice. On a free transfer, not going to say no to that. We've already been given a transfer budget of 50+ million. So that's quite interesting. But we did not sign any other players and going out. We only loaned out Lamine Mbaye and Noveas. Other than that, no other outs throughout the season. It was quite a quiet season, really, transfer-wise. Nothing done in January, really, to say the least. But there's another season, viewers, that we need to look at. Season number 4, let's head over to pre-season. Okay, so the start of season number 4, and this is the season of the World Cup in Qatar, which means we do miss a big chunk of the season. You can see here, November we only play one Premier League game, and December, right at the end on Boxing Day, we only play another game. So we have to play a lot of games after. So unfortunately, because we're in European competitions as well, that could hamper our league form, which is kind of unavoidable, to be honest. But we have made some signings, and if we do look at the finances here, we had an original budget of 71 million, and we still have 63 million pound left. So to say that we have a lot of money left is a bit of an understatement. We haven't signed a lot of players, viewers, and that is because we didn't really do a lot in the transfer window, to be honest. We managed to release this guy, 17 million pound, which for a player I've never really heard of, to be honest. A good CDM for the Premier League. Not that we were going to be using him, though, unfortunately, in the future. Lewis Gibson went out for 14 million as well, and Tom Cannon 8 million. Matty Sparks 4.7 million, up to 13 million. I think is another regen who we will never use. So I'm happy to bring in those monies. Matteo Guendouzi actually ended up costing us £3 million because of his age, I do believe. But we did get Bazoa for free. And we managed to bring in another centre-back, viewers. Marash Kambula. £11 million. And I think this is a very good signing. And that is basically because Chris Metpam, we will no longer have to worry about saying his name because he wants to leave, viewers. He wouldn't sign another deal, and he only had another contract for a final year, so he is going to Chelsea, viewers. So that is a deal that will happen. He's underbid from a fair few teams, and I think he's chosen Chelsea. £26 million I asked for. I think they're doing the deal for about 24 million, so not too bad whatsoever. But that is our pre-season. We are a little bit earlier as well, I think. I don't know why I saved at this point. We might miss a transfer or two. We'll look at that anyway towards the end of the season in the season 4 review. But we are predicted to finish in 7th place, viewers. Not great. Competition-wise, reach the quarter-final minimum of the Europa League. I think that's quite acceptable. And the quarter-final of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, I'd be happy if we did. I'd be unhappy, if we didn't do both of that. So that's good. Some reasonable expectations from the Everton board here. And I do think as well, one of our things was to start the build of a new stadium, and I do believe that is well underway, and in fact it has happened, viewers. We are at our new stadium, which that's not what it looks like, by the way. That's just a a rendered photo, but a new stadium of 52.5 thousand people, so that's quite good, and it was finally built this year, so that'll be our brand new stadium that we'll be looking at playing in the future. Lovely. But here we are, viewers, the end of the season, and unfortunately we finished exactly where we were predicted to finish. I do believe that the trouble in Europe, and maybe we had quite a small team, and obviously the fact that we were looking to play all of those players when we could, might have affected us slightly. We finished in 7th place, 3 points behind Arsenal in 6th, which means we do not have European football next year. Might be a blessing in disguise, which will help us. Esposito, though, had a season to remember, but we'll look at that in a sec. Competitions-wise, we were runner-up in the FA Cup to Liverpool. How gutting is that? And we were also knocked down the quarter-final by Liverpool, who obviously went on and had a good domestic treble there. The semi-final, we were knocked out of Europa League, so we exceeded expectations there as well, which we were knocked out by Lazio, who went on to win it. So quite happy with the performance in outside of the league, but I think the league predicting finish in 7th place. The board only expects a top-half finish, and we just keep doing that every season, so they're happy to keep us on as in a job, which is great, obviously, for us. But let's look at the squad and how they performed. Now, actually, before we do that, did I make any other transfers? I did, viewers. Good! Oh, yes, brilliant. So, I made one more transfer in Musa Wagyu at the start of the season as a good right back and left back option coming in there, so that's fantastic. And this, viewers, what a signing this is, by the way. In January, we managed to secure Donny van de Beek from Manchester United. He was unhappy because of his game time that he was receiving there, just the 19 games. Then he went out on loan to Sevilla. Then we signed him for £50 million, and we managed to play him. 22 appearances he's played so far this season. So I'm quite happy with this deal. Although we spent a lot of money, he is an exceptionally good centre midfielder. Happy days. Any other signings that went out? We've actually loaned out Guendouzi, which is quite funny, isn't it? Bringing him in, then loaning him out. Fine. But Andre Gomez, viewers, in January went for £60 million, and that is the reason why the Donny van de Beek transfer happened. £60 million for Andre Gomez. He's 29, viewers, so I think taking him out and bringing in Donny van de Beek, who is a far better player. I mean, if you look at this, current ability of 152. Donny van de Beek, current ability of 161, and he's like 3 years younger than him. So he is going to be great for us going forward in the future, and I prefer his attributes as well, especially down here. The teamwork, vision and work rate is lovely to see. Can play in a number of positions. I think we managed to rob Tottenham there of a very good player, because if they just went for Donny van de Beek, it would have been so much better off. But they came in with a bid in January for Andre Gomez, and I looked and seen Donny van de Beek on the transfer list, so it worked out perfectly for me. Squad-wise then, so if we look at the goals, there's no surprises that Esposito is up there. 46 goals this season. 46! He's done so well. And in the Premier League, viewers, the last 2 seasons in the Premier League, 29 and 28 goals this season. Last season, I mean, he had a higher average rating this season, but 8 assists as well. It's so good. Very good indeed. So he's had a great year, and I think he's now wanted by a lot of teams, as you can see here, all of the best teams in Europe, but I don't think he has any intention of leaving, which is fantastic, and I have no intentions of letting him go. He must love this club. But Barbosa managed to pick up 17 goals, again from that right-hand side, 11 assists. Thales Magno, 16 goals, 6 assists. Richarlison, even picking up 10 goals still. Yari Vishkaran, 20 assists and 10 goals, which is the highest. Max Aaron's finally playing at right back full time, managed to get 18 assists. That's fantastic. Renan Lodi only managed to get 10. So we're really happy with that. And we're also starting to play Lamine Mbai. We've brought him in at the start of the season. We loaned him out. Did we loan him out last season? I can't remember if we did. We did. We loaned him out for a season. We loaned him out twice, actually. We loaned him out this season and last season. We've recorded him from his loan to start him, viewers, because I think he's good enough now in that starting role to play instead of Allen, who used to play in that centre midfield role. So as you can see here, in January made that change. Allen played all the way up until January, and Mbai has come in since. Good stuff. I'm happy with that. So overall, viewers, really good performance in Season 4 in competitions, runners-up in the FA Cup. We were nearly men, really. A semi-final in the Europa League. just not great in the league. But I think a blessing in disguise, not having the Europa League next year could be really good for us, hopefully, in the future. But you'll have to wait, viewers, until next week to see how we get on in that episode. Next Tuesday, that will be out. Season number 5 and 6, of course. And then season number 7 will be the final episode. And hopefully, we'll be lifting a Premier League trophy by then. So there we have it, viewers. I hope you enjoyed episode number 2. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of how we did. And of course, if you want some early access so you can watch season 3 a lot quicker than when it comes out on the YouTube, patreon.com/Omega Gaming. That'll be fantastic. Give me a follow on Twitter and all that good stuff as well. I'm on Instagram where I post some thumbnails if you're interested. Just type in Omega Designs and you'll see me there too. But thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, remember to smash that like button. Hit the Patreon page if you want some early access to some videos or to sponsor a player. And here is a video that I think you might like.